So great to talk to you. I was actually supposed to speak to you for the first film.
Ah.
And it didn't work out because of scheduling.
Ran
so
out
I was
of time.
crossing my fingers. Well, maybe there's a sequel. Maybe
Thank
there's
God,
a sequel
man.
coming. Were you surprised by the success of the first film and the fact that talk of a sequel came up? Because normally sequels are, superhero movies
Sure,
and
for sure.
Sci-fi things and
Yeah.
not necessarily stripper films.
I think in terms of subject matter that people would have expected a sequel for, male strippers probably not high on the list. I do think that when we were doing the movie, we all knew something special was happening. So we really felt great about the first movie, just in terms of the experience we had and feeling or believing that would translate, we ended up being right. And here we are doing a second one and actually getting to take that great time and impart it once again to audiences on an XXL scale. I mean, bigger and better. There's more comedy, more fun, more levity, more dancing, more sexiness. I mean, this movie really kind of took all of the things that you got a glimpse of in the first one and just really just exploded them on screen.
What is it that you think the audiences really related to and really connected with from the first one? Was it just the chemistry between you and the other guys that was so amazing, or was it also like that and a little bit of the physical too for the ladies? Or
well, I think for both movies, it's the skin that gets you in.
Sure,
the
skin that gets you in.
That's really what it is. It's the skin that gets you in, and really what ends up making them successful, and I think really making audiences respond to them is the humanity in them. And in the first movie, we, in terms of the human experience, we examined what the dark side of this life is about, and how it can be something you get caught up in, and it's not something where, if you're not fighting to grow, where you can pretty much just stay in limbo for 20 years. And Tarzan's character represents that, somebody that's been in this life forever and is just caught up in this vicious circle of doing this same thing, and doing drugs and blacking out and dancing, and and never really getting to the next place in life. And this second movie was about, okay, all of these guys have grown up a little bit, and we got a glimpse of them in the first movie, and enough to be curious about them, enough to like them, enough to want to see more about them. And this second movie was like, okay, let's explore the light. Let's celebrate the lives of these guys. Let's see why they're friends. Let's see, what the great side of this experience as being male strippers has been for them, and why it's hard to give up this life. And then let's watch them give it up, going out on a high note, of course.
Well, let me ask you, the first time you read the script for the sequel, Channing's script, and the idea, and obviously he has this background, he knows these guys,
sure,
he created these characters, but the fact that these guys are going to take a road trip, and they're going to, kind of see some things even in their world they've never seen before. I mean, what was your reaction?
I mean, my reaction to the idea of a road trip was like, yes, that sounds like a party on wheels, of course. And Reed, Channing, Reed, all of us really from the first movie have remained really close friends, and so we talked regularly. And when I first got wind that it was long before I ever read the script, but I knew that there was a road trip coming, and the idea of putting these guys in a space where we were on a road trip, I was like, come on, hurry up with the script, because I want to see what this is going to look like. And once again, the script came. The story idea is great. Everything that was in that script was like stuff that was going to be fun to explore, and we all showed up so excited to do it that we just can't help but elevate what's on the page, and when we bring it to life in a bigger, better way.
Well, another thing that you guys elevated with this film was the dancing.
For sure.
There's some proper big dance sequences where I don't think the first film was so much dancing.
No, look, you can't call a movie XXL and not make it bigger and better. You just, you're going to disappoint if you do that. And so we knew dance routines have to be better. We've got to be in better shape. We've got to bring more of the fun.
What was the choreography like for you for the dancing?
Oh, it was way more intense than the first one.
Do you
we
have
spent
that background like
I don't.
Channing and some
No,
God,
I wish that I had that in my DNA. I mean, maybe it's lying there dormant, and I've slowly been coaxing it out through these movies. But Chan, Twitch, those guys, they're tapped into that. That's their instrument.
Are you like, come on, guys, I didn't have 15 years of dancing like you did.
No, that's the beauty of it all. We're all competitive enough and we're all athletic enough to know, like, hey, challenge me, and I'm going to give it everything I've got to live up to that challenge. And if we set the bar this high and we manage to get somewhere close to that, then we're winning. And I think everybody actually exceeded where the bar was set. And we all knew we wanted to come in and do something stronger and more dynamic than the first movie, and everybody accomplished that. The beautiful thing about the first movie was that it sort of empowered you to know, okay, I can find a way to dance. I can find a way to tap into this thing in myself and actually, bring it out in a way with the coaching from Allison Falk and Teresa Espinosa, the two choreographers. I know that these girls can get me to a place where I can deliver a great performance. And so, we were like, let's set that bar. Let's set a goal and know what it is, and have it be lofty, and let's go after it. And everybody did. And we pushed each other. This is the best team I've ever played on. I played sports my whole life, and this is without a doubt the best group of people that I've ever been involved on a team with.
Was the chemistry back right away, like as soon as you guys got on set, between the principal?
Yeah, we never lost it because everybody clicked so well in the first movie. We've all stayed in close contact through the last 3 years. And once we knew that this was going to be something that was happening for sure in terms of doing a sequel, those conversations about what it would be about and dialogue, etc., it's been going on for quite a while. So contact's remained close, and so it was just a matter of actually wanting to be together. Everybody's been so busy and in their worlds and doing things.
Was there competition with the new guys, with Michael Stratham and
no
Glover, or were they welcomed in the group right away?
That's it's the kind of group that it is. We know that we want everybody to come in and feel like, hey, this is a playground. You're welcome to come play on here. Show up with your A game. You can't jump in the game and not have prepared and not have been ready, or, not come with an open mind that's excited to come and play. But yeah, come on, man. This is the sandbox. We're having a great time, and come on and join us. Let's make it even bigger and better. And Michael just brought it, man. Michael brought it to a level that we all were standing there in awe, like, oh my God, how are you going back to Live with Michael and Kelly, or how are you going back to Good Morning America after people see this? And I mean, it's just something remarkable. Michael's a great guy. I mean, he's a personal friend. He's a great guy.
Were you a wrestling fan growing up? And if so, did you freak out when you met Ric Flair?
I was a wrestling fan growing up, and I probably veered off from wrestling before I ever got to become a fan of Kevin's, who now is one of my best friends in the world. But Ric Flair, of course, has been around far longer than Kevin has, and getting to meet Ric Flair was a trip. He is every bit the character you would imagine him to be. Yeah,
he's what you want him to be.
Yeah. Woo! Yeah, he brings it. He brings it.
Well, you mentioned that with the title XXL, obviously we're bigger.
Double XL. Let's not get ahead.
Hopefully. With double XL, we're bigger. So with this one, I also love that we really brought in some great actresses to fill out those female roles.
Tremendous.
I mean,
tremendous.
Jada Pinkett Smith and Andy McDowell.
Elizabeth Banks, Amber Heard.
I mean, getting to have, and just knowing that caliber of actor is joining the franchise.
It was like that little thing that you go, oh my God, there is just, with these ingredients, there's no way we can lose. We knew bringing back the guys was going to bring back a certain part of the audience from the first film. And adding these women it was sealing the deal completely. You're bringing these beautiful, strong women that are going to add levity and sexiness and in essence be these guides to sort of shepherd the audience, the audience of women through this movie from a strong female perspective. I mean, we were like, oh my God, this is something that is just going to take this to the next level. And all of these women delivered in a way that this movie would not be the same without them. There's no way that we could have accomplished what we've accomplished with this movie without these women. I mean, Jada is, truly, she is that woman that is going to lead the charge of women that are sitting in the audience through this movie. Show us as the dancers the way, in essence. You guys have got it wrong. You've been showing women a great time from your perspective, from what you think they want to see. And yeah, they've eaten it up and they've had a good time with that, but now it's time to evolve, and I'm going to show you how to do that. and then I'm going to guide these women through that process with you, and here's the show, you know, and next level. And Amber, just, I mean,
they're wrapping me up, Adam, but I want to ask you one quick thing real quick. Sorry to cut you off.
Sure.
But having Gregory direct the film, and Steven taking the position of editing and cinematography as opposed to directing, what was that like? I mean, you must have still felt his presence there, obviously.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, I mean,
what was he like working with Gregory in that role?
Steven's presence on set is felt, you know, because he imparts his sensibility into, you know, into everything. Even if what he's doing is shooting the film, which he did on this on XXL. You know, his eye is recognizable. His style is recognizable. You see a Steven Soderbergh shot, and you sort of know how it's composed, and you identify that. And him and Gregory have been working together for 20 plus years, you know, so they really are, they've got a shorthand and a way of working that it's the greatest pleasure in my career to have worked around it, because what they allow people to do is come in with ideas and have an open space that's safe and welcoming to really just bringing your best, and knowing that, hey, I'm going to throw an idea forward, and if it's a great idea, we're going to use it, and if it's not, someone else is going to throw that idea in, and that's all we care about, is getting to the best of it. And Steven's tendency, I think, which you see in the first movie, is to explore the obscure side, the dark side of what this life was about, you know, how being caught up in this life can be dark and trap you. And Greg has a completely different sensibility. I mean, Greg is like one of the guys with the biggest hearts you'll ever meet, and he imparted that into every scene of this movie. I mean, you know, he knew that this movie was going to be lighter and funnier and, you know, really celebrate the lives of these guys, and he brings that to every frame of the movie. I mean, there are scenes in the movie that could go in a completely different direction, and Greg would say, no, you know, that doesn't feel right. That's not what, you know, that's not the direction I want to go in. And he'd give you a note on something, and the next thing you know, this scene is now way funnier, way more feel good, and you know, the type of thing that you really just walk out of the movie going, oh my God, I just had the time of my life. You know, I want to see more of these guys.
Yeah. Well, I hope we do get to XXL.
Hey,
the
man.
next one. And congratulations.
If it happens, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Pleasure. Thanks. Great talking.